Welcome back to Radically Rational Radio. And today we're going to take a blast from the past. Joe Biden has always been one to let you know his record, and it's always been honest. And he's challenging a reporter's IQ. Let's jump into it.
If you go back and listen to that guy lying about his education record and lying about his accomplishments, and like, he's always been a problem. The ties to Ukraine and China and the money, the family they got paid millions of dollars, and everyone's trying to obscure it because, well, it's better than Trump. If that guy was a Republican, they would be up his ass with a microscope. I mean, I think the problem is that, first of all, the media is overwhelmingly left-leaning. And if you have a left-leaning politician or a left-wing Democratic politician, and then you have this media that essentially works to support that person, I mean, they ignore any information that leads to distrust in the government.
Gospel truth from Joe Rogan. But let's go back to 1988 and listen to those bald-faced lies from a younger Joe Biden about his education record.
What law school did you attend, and where did you place in that class? And the other question is, could you quickly, I think
I probably have a much higher IQ than you do, I suspect. I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. In the first year in law school, I decided I didn't want to be in law school and ended up in the bottom two-thirds of my class, and then decided I wanted to stay, went back to law school, and in fact ended up in the top half of my class. I won the international moot court competition. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only need 123 credits, and I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
Literally a bunch of lies. Fact checkers Politico's right. Biden graduated from Syracuse University Law School in 1968, but not in the top half of his class. He did not receive 3 undergraduate degrees, and he didn't attend law school on a full academic scholarship either. In a statement published in response to the Newsweek story and covered by the New York Times, Biden said his, quote, recollection of this was inaccurate, end quote. So times have not changed, basically.
So basically, times have not changed. This is true. The one thing that is impressive, you can see how Biden has managed to stay in power for so long. For a time, he was an incredibly quick speaker. He could string together a bunch of lies that sounded like truth and could obfuscate afterwards. He's done a really, really good job shoring up his power at the cost of our country. Here's the problem with liars. If you do lie, and this was not a lie of omission, he was verbally assaulting someone, thrashing him with lies, hoping that he would stand down. He was playing chicken, and Biden was great at it. You watch that exchange, and clearly it looked like he won. You'd want to vote for someone that was powerful. You have to vote for people you trust. When someone is willing to lie like that, also, strictly to just look bigger than a single person. He's not doing it to look like a better senator. He was just boasting himself over someone else. A superiority complex, to say the least. Do you think he stayed in power this whole time and became some truth teller? Absolutely not. This man, for his entire life, has done whatever he thought was okay to enrich himself. And I don't really think he deeply considers how much it might negatively affect Americans or the country. It probably sounds like I'm trying to prescribe ill intent to him. I don't think he thought about it either way. I think he saw it could enrich himself. People in power believe they're doing good, and this is what's been happening for my whole life. If you look at the turnover of politicians, you will notice that Republicans have a much higher turnover rate than Democrats. Once a Democrat gets in and finds out that all I have to do is promise to help you, and every time I fail, say I didn't have enough money or it was the other guy's fault, they stay there for the rest of their lives. Very rarely are Democratic politicians business owners first, and then politicians. They're almost always career politicians. These people play for a team, and that team is not Team America. It is Team Politician. They will unknowingly suck every dime from America and not realize that they're doing bad. We have to wake up. We have to vote people in that will be accountable to us. We have to vote people in who are actually trying to make America better, and not just identity politics, not just trying to look like a good guy, but actually be a strong person. As an anarchist, as someone who vehemently disagrees with the system altogether, never before has there been a stronger time that we all really need to vote. If you're not sure which way to go, vote Freedom Caucus. Now more than ever, we all have to vote. And if you're not sure, vote Freedom Caucus, both Congress and Senate. You may not like the fact that they won't make a law that you feel is really important for changing the world, but they will hold us fiscally responsible. They won't allow us to bury ourselves in debt. And now they're moving for both state senators and congressmen. We don't have to focus on the presidency. We can actually focus on the states. And the Freedom Caucus actually has the ability to choke out the deep state. They'll do it at the purse strings. Any president that attempts to do that will get murdered. However, a decentralized network of politicians all going after the money, we can do it. We just have to vote. If your anarchist mindset requires you to not vote, I feel you. Donate. Vote with your money. You don't have to play the game and not influence it. Senate Freedom Caucus Network is the best way. Link will be below. Make a donation today. We have to realize that this is not left versus right. This is not red versus blue. However, the Democratic Party and big tech corporations, they are an entity of themselves. And we do need to fight against that. I hope you learned something. I'm Tristan with Radically Rational Radio. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Stay resilient.